Hello there. Everyone seems to absolutely love these movies. My first watch through, I thought they were cool and all, but me and my friend did a podcast on it, and well, it is cool to rewatch it, but it's also a very forgetful movie. Don't hate me, John Wick.
That's right. I'm about to monologue, son. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
John Wick is one of those action-packed movies, but for me, it really didn't work because not only did they kill off his wife in the first 5 minutes, but they killed off his dog in the first 5 minutes. And I mean, sure, that's very strong emotional impact, but why do you need to do that for all of that? Especially, okay, the spoilers throughout, just the old movie, so it don't really matter, I guess. Why, if he's supposed to have an attachment to this dog, which his dying wife gave him as a last farewell gift, because it's in the letter, why would he replace it with another dog at the very end, and that dog serves no purpose throughout the rest of the films? But I'll get to that in my other film reviews. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, oh, he's doing all this because it was taken from him, when he could have just gone to the pound and gotten another one instead of roping himself back into this world, which apparently he didn't want to be a part of. And apparently he's back. There are just all these little things. Just like, it's a cool action movie. I give it that. But I had completely forgotten everything. I had even completely forgotten Willem Dafoe was in the film. I'd only seen it once before. Normally, if a movie's great, you remember everything about it. Or if a movie's absolutely terrible, you remember everything about it. This one was literally just an action film. It's cool to watch. I can throw it on in the background, but there's not really anything great there because everything is very predictable. Sure, I think the only line you can anyone ever really quotes is like, he killed a man with a pencil. Because, yeah. But other than that, the movie was just subpar. It's the actions, the way of the gunplay. I mean, I remember respecting it just because of how Keanu Reeves knows how to use a weapon. Because in most films, most people don't know how to use weapons. Watching foreign films especially, the way they hold is like, you guys have no real training in this stuff. So in some cases, when you watch American films, it's like, okay, you have easier access to firearms. I get it. But at the same time, when they're like walking through a building, it's just like there's certain ways you have to hold your handguns. There's certain ways you do certain things that Keanu Reeves actually knows. And he actually utilizes throughout. So I actually really do like that. It's pretty cool to see him using gunplay the way it should be used. Gunplay, kind of. It shouldn't be called gunplay. Knowing how to handle a firearm. That's what it is. He knows how to handle a firearm far better than most people. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I know these things just because I grew up around it. But it's funny that in all these films, they can't get someone who just knows this stuff. Because I grew up knowing it because I was taught how to respect a firearm. So you know how to treat them. You know how to operate with them. You know how to do it. I've only fired a weapon like once, twice, and but I know all this stuff because it was ingrained in me. So it's funny that all these other movies that are action movies, they don't do it right. But John Wick, a movie that's, for me, was always very forgettable, but it's still a very fun watch. It's one of those movies that is just, it's cool, but once it's off, you don't care because it didn't have really any emotional impact because they kind of get rid of that at the very end. He replaces his dog, basically giving up. Like he sacrificed the world he lived in. He sacrificed everything for his wife. Only for when his wife dies and his dog is taken away, he goes back to the world which he knew before. And then he replaces his dog. So he's basically replacing his wife for the world he replaced beforehand with her, basically swapping everything back and replacing his dog with another dog. So that's why it always leaves a bitter taste in my mouth at the very end. It's like, you did all this only to replace it all. It just doesn't fit. I mean, I absolutely love the way the writer does his work. It's always entertaining. Absolutely. Action-packed, yes. But at the same time, it's just like, I think if he would have like gone to the grave of his puppy and his wife at the very end, kind of standing over it, leaving roses, I think that would have been a stronger impact than him walking into a pound and taking a dog out. I mean, yeah, you want to go for more of an emotional impact at the end instead of going like, oh, his dog died today. The next day he replaces the dog after killing everyone. Because literally only 2 days have passed. That's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't want to go too much into this. Don't get me wrong. I like these movies. I like John Wick. But that's mainly because I like Keanu Reeves. I like Willem Dafoe, but I completely forgot Willem Dafoe was in it. I only know Keanu Reeves was in it. It's one of those things that I completely forget because it's not a memorable film to me. It's still a fun film. It's still a good film. It's just not memorable. Oh, I'm going to get so much hate for this. Thank you all for watching. Toodles.